I'm Chris Michelotti. I'm the designer of Escape the Fest. Escape the Fest is a game that I created in honor of the two communities, specifically the rave community and the gaming community, that took me in when I first moved out to the West Coast on my own. And so, what I wanted to do was take those experiences and put together a game that allowed for everyone else to, experience the chaos of a music festival from the comforts of their own home. All right, let's take a look. Escape the Fest is a card game for 1 to 6 players. Players work to be the best friend in a squad at a music festival. In order to prove that you are the best friend, you will go out on journeys to help your friends find the items that they have lost and also to find the items you have lost. When you complete these journeys, you will get points, and the player with the most points at the end of the game is the winner. Every round represents a new day at the festival, and each day can add positivity to your morning or ruin the rest of your day. This will impact all players, and it can't be avoided. Each player takes their turn in 3 phases. You have your morning, your afternoon, and your night. In the morning phase, players will turn a card face up and immediately deal with what happens. Once that has been taken care of, they can start their afternoon phase. Here, they will play their cards from their hands into their campsite or onto other players. The final phase is the night phase, and this is when players will draw back up to their max hand size and then get prepared for the next day. Even though playing board games and going to music festivals is about community, we did decide to create a solo mode for this game as well. In the solo mode of Escape the Fest, players will have 5 different journeys that they must complete in exactly 7 days. If they cannot complete those 5 journeys within the 7 days, or if they get caught with an unfinished journey at the end of one of the days, then they will lose. Getting to play this game with people at music festivals has been a great opportunity to not just make a better game, but also focus on how people play it. The cards were designed so that it could be played on not just a regular table at home, but also on a small surface area, like the top of a cooler. The calendar cards really allow for players to choose how much time will be devoted to playing the game, and you can easily knock it out before the main event. So this is what a sample game of Escape the Fest could potentially look like. Here we have our calendar cards, we've got our festival deck and our discard pile. We have our campsite right here. We've got the reminder cards, and then I set aside one of the journey cards just to kind of show how players can interact with these cards. And as you saw earlier in the video, the art is commissioned for this. It is done, and we will have the actual art on the finalized cards in time for PAX South. Now, in this scenario, our player is hanging out with Sheila May. Sheila May's power, which you can utilize all the squad members' powers. Each one of them has different abilities. Her power allows the player to, during the night phase, steal an item from another player's hand versus just picking up or drawing cards at the night phase. And because we have her water bottle here in the campsite, we can utilize that ability at night. So the reminder cards up here, potentially we can get the hula hoop, the hat, or the sunglasses into our trunk. We just have to be able to find those items. Currently in our campsite, the only item that we have that is ours is our food item. And like I said, the water bottle. And then we have Eric's keys and Foolish Panda's keys. The journey card that is of most interest to this player at this time is the Hoarder Journey, which requires you to find 3 of the same items. So we are, in fact, as this player, 2 cards in. We just need 1 more set of keys. So I'll go ahead and go through the phases like I would in a regular game. So to start the day is our morning phase. Let's go ahead and start it as if it's a brand new day, though, just so I can run through all that. So turn over a new day, and it happens to be a day with No service, so we trash all cell phones in play, and they cannot be played today. Thankfully, there are no cell phones in our campsite, so we don't have to get rid of them. And in our hands, we've got another squad member. Here, this is Tina. Tina allows you to draw 2 cards in the morning, and you get to choose which one you want to work with. Ground Find allows you to go through the top 10 cards of the trash pile and then find an item card that you want, and then you can put it into play. What Did I Just allows you to draw the top 5 cards from the draw pile. You keep 2 and discard the rest. Tina's water bottles right here, and then sunglasses, which is actually one of the reminder cards. So we have the potential of getting that into our trunk. But let's go through all of our phases in the proper order. So in the morning, we will go ahead and turn a card over. If it is an action card, it happens to us. We are the intended target. If it's any other card, then we go ahead and put it into our hand. But we do this face up so everybody can see us in all of our glory in the morning. We happen to pull out a set of keys, which is awesome. We'll go ahead and put that into our hand. So now this is what our hand will look like. Going into the afternoon phase, we have 2 actions. Actions are playing actions on other players, playing cards into your campsite, putting cards into your trunk. So I'll go ahead and use one of my actions to say I'm going to put my sunglasses into my trunk. So we'll go ahead and say this right here is this is my trunk. Just for this example, maybe this is how my player wants to separate the cards. As long as it makes sense to everybody at the table, then that is fine. Like I said earlier, the cards were designed so that this game can be played on a smaller surface area. So we went ahead and set this up in our trunk, turned this over. Food, and because we actually would have spent an action an earlier turn to do this, this can be freely moved into our trunk as well, which is nice. Benefit of having items in your trunk, there are cards that would ask of you to get these items into your trunk to get more points. Other than that, they're just extra items to kind of have around, and they become a little bit more safer. Then the second action I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to play Sheila May's Keys. And so, therefore, I'm going to spend these 3 items, these 3 keys, to get the Hoarder Journey card. Go ahead and do that right there, just to show that it is, in fact, mine. It is something that I found. So I will get those 5 points at the end of the game. Then you go into your night phase. I have 4 cards in my hand. 5 cards is your max hand size, unless another card says otherwise. I do have Sheila May's water bottle, so I could take a card from somebody else. But in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and draw the extra card, and then I'll pass the turn.
So that was Escape the Fest. Escape the Fest is a culmination of 5 years worth of work and what I like to call my love letter to my 20s. I really hope that you enjoyed looking over this video. I really do appreciate your time that you spent watching the video and your consideration. I had a great time at PAX West getting to showcase this game to so many people with the Indie Mega Booth, and I really do hope that I get the same opportunity to showcase this game in the Pax Indie Showcase at PAX South. Thanks again, and have a great one. Bye. You good? Got this?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Yeah, just run a casual one.
All right.
TBC though. Ready and go ahead.
Okay. All right. Are we still filming?
Maybe.
Oh gosh.